I'm back at the dump, so let's start digging. Well, I found my first bottle with something on it. The Converse Company, Columbus, Ohio. Wouldn't know what that is. Let's see what that date on there is. 37. So it falls right in line with what generally comes out of here. So first one, at least I didn't get skunked on anything. So let's keep going. I haven't found anything in the last hour. I have dug and dug and everything is broken, almost everything. And what it does come out isn't even worth filming. Found this. I don't know what this is. It's some kind of lid to a teapot or something. Who the heck knows? But I'm in a little trashy area here, so I'm coming up with a lot of these, but I don't know where that's from. Denmark. That's a town I'd been through, but I never thought they had cokes in there. Okay, but this is a trashy layer, you can see, but as you also can see that nothing's in one piece here that I can surmise. It's all trashed and burned. And you can see that there's a dark dirt layer running through it. But so anyway, I'm gonna dig this out. If nothing comes up, that'll be it for me. Other than that, see you later. Okay, haven't found anything really serious. As you can see, it's just industrial bricks. This little vinegar came out. I mean, it's a tiny vinegar. The only reason I'm keeping it is because of the size. And then get my glove out of here because I don't want that getting covered up. But as you can see, I'm just gonna show you what I'm up against here. And everything's broken. I mean, there's bottles in here, but they're not in one piece. They're all broken up. Here's something here. I know what this is, so I'm not gonna make a big deal out of it. It's a ketchup. You can see that. It's a long ass ketchup. But that's it. I might move on to another place. I don't know. There's other areas here that might come up with some. But I'm pretty beat right as it is. Trying to get anything out of here. And as you can see, everything is broken. So there's a lot of little stuff in here. There's a lot of little things, little bottles that are worthless to collect, but that's it. So I'm out of here. Well, I'm shoveling right along. All of a sudden I see something fall down from right here, and look what it is. It is a little automobile, a candy container. It looks like it's in real good shape. So I scored. That's a day maker for me. A little glass, only missing a wheel. Outside of that, yeah, brother. And it's a little broken in the front. Other than that, they're not easy to find, these things. These are super hard to come across. So when you find one, it's a good day. So there we go. My first unofficial find. It just fell out. I didn't really dig it. Let's keep going. There might be more of that stuff in here. Okay, I haven't showed any digging videos here in a little bit, so there's stuff coming up, so let's put some on. First of all, we got this bottle. What kind is it? It's just a plain type of whiskey. That's not too fun. Now we got this bottle, and it's a little, I don't know what it is, a beer? It don't look like a beer, but, and now it's underneath here, if you can see, there's something else in there. I don't know what that would be. I got a piece of glass. What would that be? It's broken, that's what it is. But, and there's another plain Jane whiskey. We're gonna see a lot of them, I think. Let's see what's else in here. This is a other part of the same dump I've been in, and as you can see, the improvement isn't that big of a deal. Stuff is still pretty rough and broken, you see. So, and anywho, let me find something cool, I'll show you. But that was my little digging part. If I don't find anything else, I might have a roundup. There you go. Okay, I think I've got a soda. It's right here. You can see it right there. And I'm gonna dig just beyond underneath so it will just fall on down. Okay, what is it? Ah, it's a two-way. I don't know if that pyro is gonna last, and I don't know if these have any kind of, anyway, there you go, a two-way soda. I mean, at least I found, whether it stays or not, I don't know. It may. I've got a bunch of little tiny bottles, a whole bunch, and I don't know. And little these perfume bottles, I don't know what to do with them. Like I said, I'm not totally skunked because I did find that real nice little candy container, but other than that, nothing amazing has popped up out of here. It's full of stuff, but it's just too full of stuff, you know what I mean. Let me go a little further and I'll catch you later. Bye. Well, I finally got my Coke. It was right in there. It looks all in one piece, pretty much. There's nothing cracks or on it that I can see. And it's from Mangan M.A. Macon, I think. It's from Macon, Georgia. So, and it is in 1923. So there we have it. I'm glad I kept with it. I'm gonna take this down, get a few more things, and I'm out of here. Bye. I said I was gonna go, but I had one little bit to hit, and guess what? I got another one. This one is a red, and it looked like it had wheels. The other one had glass wheels. This one, well, it had regular wheels on it. It's another candy container car. I got a whole lot of cars here. Very cool. Well, I'm going now. That's the end of it. Have a great day, everybody. Well, here we are back again at a roundup from my last dig. It turned out to be pretty good as far as that standard for that dump is. I started out pretty rough, but I came up with some really good things. So let's go right to them. The first bottle I did find when I was out there was in a hole that I thought would have produced much more, but it didn't. But this bottle is interesting. It's the Converse Company, Columbus, Ohio. I lived out in Ohio, but I never heard of this place or this Converse Company. There's a couple of interesting things about this bottle. First of all, it's extremely clean for being in the dump that it was in. I have a different cap on that. It's not the probably original, is a metal one. Apparently, this is a liniment of some sort, but there's also a Converse coal company in Columbus, so it possibly had something to do with some kind of chemical from there. I'm not exactly sure. I could not find much information about it. You know, when you have to deal with big names like Converse All-Stars, okay, it takes up a lot of the information, so places like this get lost in the translation. So anyway, that was my first bottle. It's what's also interesting about this bottle is Owen's mark. I see a 12. Now that would indicate to me that it was more the factory that put this out, and I didn't look it up, but I'm sure this bottle was made in the 40s, early 40s. So that's maybe why I can't find much information on that. The next bottle that was of interest to me was the Coke. Now, in the area I found this bottle in, I wasn't expecting to find a 1923. As you can see, there it is. And the original and the actual date for this bottle, I can show you here. It looks like a 1937. So it's a make in Georgia bottle, and most likely it was Lauren Glass Works probably put it out. Really damaged along the bottom, really beat up. This bottle saw a lot of use. I mean, that's the problem with a lot of these Cokes in these small towns. They reuse them until they broke. So I was lucky to find this one in the condition that it was in. And Macon is, I think I have a D-Pat, but I don't have a Christmas. So that was a fun find. This little cruet, just a common cruet, small version, probably put out by, you know, White House or Apple Pie Ridge. This bottle back here, when I found it, if you look at the video, it had a pyro on it. Not a good one. And I wanted to use this to see if I can get that ghost image I'm talking about. But apparently, these bottles of the late period, this is a two-way, by the way, two-way ginger ale. Hard to see a ghost image. Maybe because of heat, I don't know. We do know that this bottle is in Owens, Illinois, and it's probably a 1940. Late 1940 probably, or mid 1940. Other than that, there's nothing really great about it. There's a two-way there. Had a lot of embossing, and I found one in better condition, but the head was knocked off, the neck was knocked off, so it didn't do me any good. This bottle I dug, and I'd left at the dump, and then I looked at it again and realized it was a Norwich, and it's, you know, Baltimore Glass Works, as always. The cobalts usually are that. And this was probably a bromo seltzer type bottle, just by the shape of it, or some kind of acid, you know, anti-acid. I mean, that's a common shape for that bottle, and it still is. Bromo does still make a triangular bottle. Other than that, I don't know much about the company. I didn't look it up. Maybe next time I'll give you some information, but it's also a 1940s, really late 1930s. This one, of course, we all know, the Raleighs. This is a nice heavy bottle. I just took it because somebody might want it with that heavy embossing. The Little Moreland Vaseline, and this odd little perfume. It does have a little slight flowered embossing. It had a long metal cap, probably, because it's a real long thread. Nice little heavy bottle. But the star of the shows were the ones that you're looking down at right now. These are candy containers. Now, what is special about these is the fact that the matter is that not a lot of them were made. I mean, thousands were made, but in respects to other glass containers, these have a small niche and a high collectability. Most of these glass candy containers were produced in western Pennsylvania. Jennett, I think, was a town, and Goldsboro or something like that. They were all were little glass shops, and they put out novelties like marbles and things of that nature. And but glass containers go all the way back to the 1870s. I think the first glass container was a Liberty Bell, and from there it took off. Now, in the 1920s they were really hot. Around 1930s they weren't so, because of the cost of making them, and a lot of small glass companies just went out of business. Victory is the biggest one that I read about, and they were in Janet, and they split into two companies at one point, but the majority of glass containers were put out by them. Now, they were marked in the early days, but as years went on, the mid-30s, they just put a paper label in them. During the 30s, not a lot of glass containers were made, but they had a big boom from 1939 till 1950. They were still popular in 1950, but it went from glass to plastic. So that's the end of the glass container. But they had a good run, 75 years or so, from the 1870s. Now, 1810s, 1910s, I dig in dumps, and I don't find too many of them. The ones you find are usually dedicated to holidays. Now, they're the biggest. The Santa Clauses, you find them a lot. Easter rabbits, you find them a lot. They were focused during the turn of the century and on to the 1920s. Mostly they were brought out during holidays, or that was their big boom. Toys were produced then. But over the years, thousands upon thousands of designs were put out, and they vary. You could see different Santa Clauses from different glass houses. You could see different fire trucks, animals. I have these two cars here, and I would assume that they were made in the Victory Glass Company. Two different versions, though. This one here, if you can see, no markings, so it had probably that paper label on there. This had probably a cardboard paper bottom that held the wheels that actually moved. This probably had the same thing, if not tin, if it's a little older. I don't think so. Almost the exact car, if you can see that. So this here had glass wheels. One is missing. It's busted, which is the problem with these all glass candy containers, and it has a little bumper problem here. But let's see if there's a date on there, on that license plate. I don't know. I don't see any markings at all. But these are not common, and their heyday was from, I'd say, 1920 to about 1945, 46. I don't remember. I grew up in the 50s, and I do not remember glass candy containers. As a matter of fact, plastic was very rare. Even they just wasn't a fashion. What went in here was little tiny pellets. They were all different colors: pink, blue, yellow, and they looked like little round balls, and they were very colorful, and they were just pure sugar. So they weren't anything special. A container like this back in the day would only have sold for about 10 cents, 20 at the most, but they were just put out like soda bottles. You know, soda bottle was 5 cents, you know, filled with soda, and there was no difference between them and these candy containers. So if you're lucky enough to come across them, feel privileged, because they're not really that easy to find. I'm in an area where they could be prevalent along with marbles, the mid 40s, so they may come up again. These cars look like Chevys or Chryslers to me, coupes, and I remember them being on the road when I was a little kid, so that dates me a little bit. Anyway, that was my dig. The weather's real nice today, but I'm not going out to do anything special. I got some baking to do. But maybe next week I'll have an opportunity to hit someplace else other than this place, which wears me out. There's a lot of work involved in finding what I'm finding, which I don't really think is top drawer. The Cokes, of course, are something I like. The containers are great. They're a real bonus for me. Other than that, this stuff is pretty much run-of-the-mill. At any rate, I'm hoping to get out again. Thanks again for watching. Hit that subscribe button and support my little endeavors, and you'll get more of the same, maybe something even better. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.